Hey, I'm Dylan Murway, and ahead here on EA Sports this afternoon, the Broncos had another renaissance period in 2011, which was a streak of winning 5 straight AFC West titles. Now, with legendary quarterback Peyton Manning at a retirement home, that glow is slowly starting to wear off. Can Mark Sanchez and the Broncos recapture it today? Broncos, Vikings. Straight ahead. There you see some house cleaning. The Bills and Colts replace the Lions and Cowboys, and the Oakland Raiders will replace the Jacksonville Jaguars. More details will be revealed in those games afterwards. The Bills and Colts will play November 26th at 7 a.m. And the Raiders will be at home against the Bengals on a late Friday night. Sound the horns, boys. The Vikings are in town at US Bank Stadium. They will face the Denver Broncos.
Welcome, everybody. I'm Brandon Gaughan alongside Charles Davis. We've got a great one for you. One thing that stuck out to me in talking with these coaches this week, both so confident about their game plans. And that usually means something has
to see the players shaking hands on the sidelines. The Minnesota Vikings, Blair Walsh, will be kicking this one off as the Denver Broncos have won the toss. And as we see if we can look at our receiver here, Norwood will be receiving this punt. It's in the air. And we're underway here in Minnesota. Brought out at third 23. Out comes Mark Sanchez, the person brought in to replace Peyton Manning at the 2015 offseason when Peyton Manning retired after winning Super Bowl 50. Sanchez was brought in. He brought the experience. Sanchez passing on first down, incomplete. Look at the offensive line. C.J. Anderson, Emmanuel Sanders, and Demarius Thomas are three notable players on this O-line here this afternoon. Second and 10. Sanchez to Green. And it's a third down situation. Let's get a preview of the Minnesota Vikings defensive line. Third and 2 from the 31-yard line.
2 yards to go here on third down.
2 to go. Sanchez to Anderson. Anderson with a pretty sizable gain.
Nice job on the ground there, and the sticks will move. And he should be patting his offensive lineman on the back right now. They really created a nice space for him to run through.
Watch this short video to get 30 minutes of uninterrupted listening.
First and 10 from the 40-yard line.
And an extra tight end on the field now.
Fires it. Almost picked off. Wow.
Tremendous coverage there. Just did not catch the football.
Wrong receiver that time, buddy. Sanchez he overthrew Emmanuel Sanders and almost got picked off. Second and 10.
Second and 10.
Sanchez stepping up, throws. Oh my God!
It's taken away by the defense, but it falls innocently to the ground.
They did almost everything right. Excellent coverage, breaks on the football, just unable to haul it in and take it the other way. So
Wow, look at that. Hauled it in. Luckily, Sanchez was right there. Sorry, Sanders was right there to prevent an interception. But another incomplete pass for the Broncos. I'd say they have a lot of confidence in their D-line, it looks like. Sanchez airs it. Almost picked off again. Out come the punting team.
Missed opportunity for an interception. Let's face it, a lot of these defenders, they've got it all. Speed, athleticism, hands, a little bit questionable.
Unable to convert through the air, so now they will punt it away.
They will be punting it in the air. You see Brandon Colquitt puts it up. Shrells, the big lick from Roby. Out comes Terry Bridgewater.
They'll be taken out by the product of the University of Louisville, the talented Teddy Bridgewater.
His stature isn't huge. He's not one of the
Small
big
quarterback,
guys that you see coming into the league.
but he's a quick one.
Decision making, ability
And
to
a
make
smart one,
plays.
too.
That's why Teddy Bridgewater has a chance. to
Bridgewater
get to the
passes incomplete. There you see, look at the Vikings offensive line.
I love him because this is
Adrian Peters and Stephon Diggs, other players to watch. If you remember back to 2017, Stephon Diggs was the player that actually shocked the New Orleans Saints here in Minnesota in the playoffs. Peterson brought down by Brandon Marshall. There you see the Bronco defensive line with weapons such as Derek Wolfe, Brandon Marshall, DeMarcus Ware, Von Miller, Aqib Talib, TJ Ward, Chris Harris. They're stacked. 3rd and 11.
Will the defense dial up the pressure? Let's see. 3rd and 11. Snap comes back.
Bridgewater
Shotgun formation.
fires it incomplete. 4th and 11. Looks like somebody from the O-line wasn't happy with one of the Broncos.
The defense got the win and forced an incompletion.
The defense holds serve there on the incompletion, and now the special teams unit out for the punt.
And Locke puts it up. Emmanuel Sanders with the punt return. He brings it to midfield. Hopefully the Broncos can make something happen on this drive. Sanchez to Anderson. There's a flag on the play. I'm going to say it's a flag on our O-line. Against the left guard, 1st and 15.
And the defense coming out this time in the nickel. And the big tight end shifting around.
The Vikings are in the nickel package. Sanchez with a handoff. 2nd and 12.
And the offense will be looking to get at least some of this yardage back here.
Second and 12. Sanchez steps up. Sidestep to Sanders. First down. Finally, the Broncos get a first down here on this drive.
Zone coverage, which means you just have to find the open areas in between defenders. That's exactly what happened on that play.
Beautiful catch by Emmanuel Sanders. As it's 1st and 10 at the Minnesota 34.
And they'll set up out of the pistol.
C.J. Anderson with the handoff, 2nd and 3. As it is 2nd and 3 again. Sanchez's towel is glitching out. As minute 57 on the clock in the quarter. Mark Sanchez to C.J. Anderson. Rips up the middle. Brought down to 12.
This is old school football. Run it. Keep possession. Keep it moving. Keep the clock going. I love this kind of game.
First and 10. From the 12-yard line. Sanchez to Ronnie Hillman this time. 2nd and 2 at the 4-yard line. Ronnie Hillman was on the reception on that one. Sanchez's towel is still infused on cocaine as it keeps glitching like no one's business. As 2nd and 2. Sanchez, the gun, incomplete. 3rd and 2.
It always feels good when you slow down an offense.
Nice little throw to the ground. Kubiak looks on. Four to 1 seconds before the quarter ends. All bunched up receivers here. Sanchez almost picked. And it's Minnesota's ball at the 3-yard line. Rhodes with his first interception of the game. Boing. And Kubiak obviously not very happy. The Broncos are going to be setting up deep. Problem is, Bridgewater's going to have to get it out of the end zone quickly as he hands it to Peterson for a gain of 1.
Textbook defense. Nowhere to go for the runner. They get there. They make the tackle. Play over.
$19 seconds on the clock. And counting.
2nd down and 9.
Bridgewater to Peterson. Up to the left. Spins. Slips Chris Harris. First down. And then some. Miller can't get there. 30. 20. 10. Touchdown. Minnesota. Good Lord. Just as the quarter ends.
Brandon, did you forget to tell me we were back from commercial break? That was a quick drive that culminated in a touchdown.
Wow, look at that. Stewart slipped a tackle. DeMarcus Ware couldn't get to him. Brandon Marshall couldn't get to him there. Chris Harris couldn't get there. Von Miller couldn't get there. Remember, keep in mind that the loser of this game will go on to the loser's bracket. So critical mistakes like the one the Broncos just let go on defense right there are not allowed if they want to move on. 7-0 Vikings. Quarter ends. Definitely an interesting way to start the quarter here with Sanchez hauling it to Sanders. Then C.J. Anderson with a nice run up the middle. We would like to remind you that coverage of this game will be brought to you by Snickers. You're not you when you're hungry. Snickers satisfies. Go see Terry Bridgewater on the sideline.
Welcome back here, everybody, to the NFL.
Back here at the U.S. Bank Stadium.
Showdown, not a whole lot of offense.
Yeah, defensive showdown, my ass. The Vikings burned us.
And everyone is lined up for the kickoff.
The Blair Walsh kicks it up. Norwood with the punt return this time. And he slips a tackle, gets to the 28.
Receivers really stacked up on this one.
They're stacking receivers here. Hands it to Anderson. Gets pulled back for a gain of 1. And you see right here, 2nd and 9. I always say passing clears the yards, but sometimes those little runs that C.J. Anderson's been doing also work quite well. Mark Sanchez almost picked again. If you look at division teams, it's obvious that the AFC has a clear advantage, having a 2-game lead with wins from both San Diego and Kansas City. They are the ones that they're the only teams that are into the next round. The Broncos are looking to join them here. Join them here in U.S. Bank Stadium. 3rd and 9. Mark Sanchez steps up. Sanders, first down. Let's go ahead and go EA Sports Sounds of the Game, sponsored by Madden 17. Excuse me, I didn't name her.
Look this time. C.J. Anderson this time. And he is tackled. Hardly anything there.
How about the defensive linemen? That's where a good run defense begins. But the guys up front, when they hold the line, hold the point of attack, that allows everyone else to get there and make tackles.
Let's see what the offense comes with here. 2nd and 8. Only a 3-step drop. Pass is short. Left it short. It's incomplete. Charles, if you're the quarterback there, it's tough to maintain poise with pressure coming in your face.
In this case, I think he'll take incomplete as opposed to being hit from behind and a fumble results.
Third down and 8 now. Shotgun formation. Tries the left side, and it's thrown incomplete.
Sometimes the coverage is so good, no matter what you're doing on offense, you just can't shake anyone free. They try their best to find someone open, but they take away every passing alley, every angle, and shut the play down.
Brandon Colquitt puts it in the air. It's a short punt to Strellis, who had stopped right there at the 25. Wow. Didn't even make any attempt to tear into that run. Sorry, tear into that kick. 3 minutes and 57 seconds. Bridgewater steps back and fires it. Caught by Diggs. 1st and 10. Just reminded that Stephon Diggs is a surprise weapon for the Vikings. As in 2017, he was the one that actually shocked the Saints in the Minneapolis Miracle. I'm amazed Von Miller didn't even try to stop him. Vikings still up by 7 over the Broncos here.
1st down and 10 now for the offensive group.
1st and 10.
Here's a run with AP.
Peterson stripped down.
Stop DeMarcus Ware.
DeMarcus Ware was on the stop.
But he's been winning all game long. Finally, they get one for themselves. But overall, a good day for the ball carrier.
As 3:18 on the clock. Sorry, 3:07 on the clock now. Treadwell in motion. Bridgewater throws it away, incomplete.
Whether you deserve credit or not, the defense is going to take credit for that incompletion because it always feels good when you slow down an offense.
Third and
9 for the Vikings. Miller trying to be the playmaker. Somebody almost took out his legs. Incomplete pass. Don't think we see any commotion on the field after that. Looks like it was their tight end that dove at Miller.
Every passing alley, every angle, and shut the play down.
Locke puts it in the air. Almost fumbled. Sanders recovers and is brought down at the 37.
Special teams plays often have their own excitement, but not that kind for the team that
Look
was
at that.
returning the football.
Locke put it in the air.
Got away clean.
Nearly lost the ball right here. Sanders did, but luckily he got a hold of it. He was able to help his team get a little further field advantage. First and 10 from the 37-yard line. The Broncos have not been very successful on offense today, save for maybe a handful of first downs. Sanchez to Green. Green immediately pile driven by 2 Vikings.
People like to see sacks and big hits in the open field, but sometimes the bend and don't break philosophy works awfully well for a defense. They still have to find a way to score points. As long as you're not giving those up, you're doing just fine.
Should have used a nice little stiff arm there, just plowed him over. There's the Broncos' offensive stats. They've rushed 7 plays and passed for 13 with that one interception earlier. Sanchez to C.J. Anderson. Anderson with a big game. Moves up to the Minnesota 45. 2-minute warning.
The offense is now imposing its will against the defense.
Gary Kubiak going, basically spearing the chain gang.
Getting set on first down. The snap from the gun.
Sanchez takes the gun. Ooh, another pick. Almost another pick.
Tremendous coverage there. Just did not catch the football and complete the interception. But what do they say all the time? If he had really good hands,
he'd be playing offense. Wow. That slipped right through his hands. You see Sanchez's towel continues to flop about freely in an indoor stadium. Sanchez looks for a man. Caught. First down at the 34-yard line.
So they're able to connect and beat the man coverage.
Nice job between the two of them. One getting downfield, the other one delivering.
Just a reminder, my commentary will go away third quarter and then come back in the fourth. Very similar to what I did in Madden NFL 2007, especially the later games. 1 minute 31 for the Broncos to make anything happen in this half. Sanchez giving directions. Sanchez, the gun, sacked, fumble. Luckily, the Broncos recovered it, but it was a loss of 5.
Coaches tell us all the time that you make your own luck as a team, but I don't know if that's really totally true. Defense did everything right on that play and created a loose football, yet the offense ended up with it.
So now they're back at the 39 on this 2nd and 15 play.
So the defense has put them in a tough spot. It's 2nd and long. The snap from the gun. And he hauls it in.
And 3rd and 4. Broncos call a timeout here. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Just a reminder that this game is presented by Head & Shoulders.
So the offensive unit called the TO, and now we are ready to resume play.
.49 seconds left. See the Minnesota crowd getting real excited. They're trying to get them to see if they can hold these Broncos. 49 seconds. With the 28. These Broncos could take a field goal here. Sanders with the catch. Down at the 12. The Broncos take yet another timeout. Minnesota up 7-0.
So the offense took the timeout. Looks like they're ready to go as we get set to resume the action. Simple slant route, and it works to perfection.
And when you're a big-bodied receiver, you use it like it's a basketball play.
This time, Ronnie Hillman will be out for running back position here instead of C.J. Anderson. Just a reminder, C.J. Anderson was part of that Super Bowl 50 winning team. So, there's that.
And on first down.
First down from the 12 with Minnesota. Sanchez in the gun. He's got a lot of protection. Caught! Oh, incomplete. 2nd and 10. Came that close to having that hauled in. They could take a field goal, but they want 6.
Needing 10 yards. 2nd down. From the shotgun.
Broncos need 10 yards for a touchdown. Anderson with the catch this time. 3rd and 3. No huddle offense. 29 seconds left and counting.
Speed things up here, going with some tempo.
Sanchez, incomplete. Unfortunately, the Vikings are going to hold these guys to 3 unless the Broncos do something.
And a chip shot here.
Easy chip shot for the kicker. It's like, can't tell if it's McManus or Colquitt. It looks like McManus is out. Paxton Lynch with the T. And the Broncos get 3.
Nothing but confidence there. Just strolled out there and knocked it through the post. An easy 3.
Easy 3-point conversion.
And we are teed up and ready to go.
And the kick is up. 19 seconds left. Patterson, the return. Slips the tackle, gets brought down at the 25.
At the 25.
14 seconds left.
And on 1st down.
On 1st down here, Bridgewater to Peterson. Peterson gets stripped down.
And he's brought down by Ware.
Von Miller is currently putting his foot through DeMarcus Ware's chest.
Keep getting them and accumulating them throughout the game.
Shows how really shittily built this game was.
We get to the 4th quarter.
And that is the end of the quarter. Minnesota up by 4 over Denver. Let's go ahead and take a look at some highlights here as these teams go back to their locker rooms. Look at some highlights. Look at this. Adrian Peterson could go all the way. Touchdown, Minnesota. Mark Sanchez looks through, sticks to Sanders, gets some room, gets brought down. Mark Sanchez steps in the gun, fires to a reliable Emmanuel Sanders for the 1st down. Another catch to Emmanuel Sanders. We take a look at the second half.
Look at the numbers from the 1st down.
The numbers clearly show that the Broncos should be ahead, but they keep making cheap and easy mistakes.
Everyone getting lined up, and it looks like we are just about
Point.
set to rock. Halftime over, time for quarter number 3 and play resumes.
Patterson with the catch. And my commentary will be handed over to Brandon Gunn and Charles Davis. Boys,
Getting set on 1st down. They'll try the ground game. Running left side. Coverage there in a hurry, and down he goes immediately. Second down and 9. Catches a snap out of the gun.
that's a wow.
Well, the offense was able to recover its own fumble. I think it just saved a set of headsets by the head coach. I thought those were about to get tossed.
So 3rd and long this time. In motion now from the tight end. Brings it in. And a big tackle to bring us to 4th down.
The offense didn't pick up the first down there, but they're not going to go to the bench discouraged. They feel like they're starting to set the defense up a little bit, looking for the big play as this game progresses.
So they get the pass completion on 3rd down, short of the marker, and now they'll have to punt it. And down he goes, just shy of that first down marker. And on 1st down. And the ball drops down to the turf. Hat tip to the defense there. They were draped all over.
Whether they deserve credit or not, the defense is going to take credit for that incompletion because it always feels good when you slow down an offense.
Second down and 10. And give Floyd the tackle that time. Brings up a 3rd and 2. Quick drop this time. And that is the 2nd time in this game he's been brought down behind the line of scrimmage. And now the punter set to boot it away following the sack on 3rd down. And on 1st down, here's the give. And he's going to get 6.
Yes, this is where the expression staying ahead of the chains comes into play. Good runs like that one set you up well for 3rd down.
Second down and 4. Here's a run with AP. It's Glenn Miller with a stop. Third down and 4. Hand off to Peterson. Up the middle. Taken to the ground, but not before a good pickup for the offense.
As a defender, your key on the draw play is the offensive line. Figuring out how they're setting up and trying to read it to prevent the play from happening.
first down. Here's a run with AP. And there's a flag on the play. Able to dance around for some yards. And of course, the defense is going to accept this penalty. The defense here in a dime look. Back to the ground they go. On the stop to Marcus Ware.
It's not something you see on every play, but when a runner gets the opportunity to fire a stiff arm, meaning taking his hand and putting it out on a defender and then extending it to create space between him and the defender in order to gain additional yardage, it's an excellent play when used correctly.
Long ways to go on second down. QB drops and now hands it off. It's the draw. Not much daylight there. Whatever was there snuffed out quickly.
And finally, the defense gets a chance to be excited. But all game long, they've struggled to contain this runner.
Trying to get one more in here before the quarter breaks. Snap comes back out of the shotgun formation. And the connection not made. Incomplete pass. And now just one quarter remaining. 3 in the books. Points continue to be at a premium. We've got a stalemate. Fourth quarter.
Got a bit of a stalemate here in this game. As you see, the Minnesota Vikings are up by 4 over the Denver Broncos. I mean, it may be close, but we got 6 more minutes for Denver to do anything to Minnesota if they want to move on.
Back now, it's the
if they move on, they will play the winner of the Green Bay-Pittsburgh game, which, again, that will be tomorrow night. You can see the Minnesota Vikings are going to put this one in the air. Sanders stopped quickly for a gain of 3 on the punt return.
But he was unable to do so on this play. Well covered by the punting team.
Good coverage there.
So first and 10.
First and 10.
From the gun.
Sanchez from the gun looks downfield. Oh my God. Good old trusty Demaryius Thomas nearly lost the ball right there.
Take it the other way, so dropped an interception. The key for him now, don't dwell on it, just move on to the next play.
.5:47 on the clock. We'd like to remind you that beginning tomorrow at 2:30 p.m. Eastern will be a good old Madden 17 doubleheader with the Bears and Seahawks. Green with the catch, first incomplete.
Brandon, I give out my chair on that one. A lovely lifting deep ball thrown. They were just unable to connect.
And sorry, like I was saying, the NFL Madden 17 tournament will be have a doubleheader tomorrow. Tomorrow at 2:30 p.m. Eastern will be the Bears and Seahawks. Then tomorrow night at 7:30 will be the Steelers and the Packers. Norwood with the first down at midfield.
No matter how you evaluate quarterbacks, at some point arm strength is going to come into the conversation. I'm really impressed by what I saw on that throw on the out route.
You know, it also is impressive experience.
So the offense has it 1st and 10. They'll operate from the
1st and
gun.
10. Sanchez going big. Almost picked.
Should have been picked off, but instead incomplete.
Pretty nice coverage there, but a missed opportunity for an interception. Let's face it, a lot of these defenders, they count it all.
You can tell. I mean,
hands,
from watching Sanchez play for the Jets late in this game, Sanchez is really starting to try those deep passes. I mean, you're down by 4, which isn't a lot. It's just a touchdown and you're good, or a field goal and you're within tying it, range of tying it, or beating the Vikings.
10 yards.
But just take your time. You got 5 minutes left, 5:18 left. Be smart, Mark Sanchez. Be smart. Gets to Fowler. Fowler down the sideline. At the 26. Oh, looks like there's an injury on the play. Brandon Fowler. It's like a hip injury. He got him the first down. See what the Broncos can do here. Sanchez takes the snap, fires it down, incomplete.
Tremendous coverage there. Just did not catch the football and complete the interception. But what do they say all the time? If he had really good hands,
He'd be playing offense. Xavier Rhodes already had his first interception of the game earlier when he took a pass away from Norwood at the 2-yard line. At the 26, 5:06 left in the game.
2nd and 10.
2nd and 10.
And the big tight end shifting around.
Green to the right. Sanchez to Green. Green just short of the first. As you see, the Broncos Red Stones stats presented by EA Sports. 2 trips, 1 field goal, no touchdowns. Broncos are looking to change that right here.
Here we go on 3rd down. The tight end changing his position. They'll operate for the gun.
Sanchez to incomplete. I'd go for it right here if I was Sanchez. I'd go for it. That's exactly what they're going to do. Make sure that isn't an incomplete. He's got a man in the back. Looks like he's going to... Oh, fumble! By Kendricks with the recovery. Kendricks up the gun. Down the side. 1 man to beat. Nobody can get there. Brought down at the 3. Look at that. Didn't even look. His guard just didn't even see him, it looked like. This is Denver's 2nd turnover of the game.
And here we go on 1st and goal. Handoff.
Bridgewater to Peterson. No gain. Bridgewater to Peterson up to the left. Down at the 1-yard line. Peterson can easily walk this one in if he wanted to. Because how close it is.
Don't get cute. Go to what usually works.
3:07 on the clock. Looks like if Denver needs to make something big happen right here. And, ooh. 4th and goal.
And typically the defenders are the ones that dish out the punishment. On this one, we see the
Vikings are going to go for the field goal here.
Well-executed stiff arm. Oh yes, it's still in the game.
And doink. The Vikings tack on 3 with 2:12 remaining. Now they're in a really tough position here for the Broncos to do seemingly anything. Keep in mind, the winner here will get home field advantage. The loser will also here. The loser will have to play the winner of the Green Bay-Pittsburgh loser of the Green Bay-Pittsburgh game at home. Hopefully it's Minnesota, fingers crossed. Returned right to 30. 2:07 left. Broncos down by 7. This is going to be a shootout. 1st and 10. Ball on the 30-yard line. Sanchez to Anderson. Anderson out for a gain of 6.
For the young defenders out there, when you're in zone defense, you have to know where your holes are and find a way to adjust when the offense tries to attack them.
Sanchez, nice little shot to the left. The last game back on Tuesday night actually ended in overtime. The Broncos do have a good chance of tying it here, provided they don't make those big turnovers. Demaryius Thomas in motion. Sanchez steps back to Anderson. 2-minute warning.
And after seeing that play develop, the quarterback probably wishes his receiver probably just would have dropped it.
Yeah, Brandon, you're right. One of the few times that a quarterback wouldn't mind having his
3rd and 5. Mark Sanchez. Ready to take the snap.
Shotgun formation.
And, ooh! Just a reminder, the Broncos came in as 14-point favorites. The Minnesota Vikings actually might be able to upset them right here. See if Minnesota can do anything about this. Colquitt puts it in the air. Oh, flag on the play. And the Broncos are going to accept this call. All right. They're going big on defense. Bridgewater to Peterson. The Broncos call a timeout. Road teams have been undefeated so far, with San Diego beating LA back on Monday, and then obviously Tuesday night, that overtime thriller with Kansas City and New England.
The defense, they got a little bit of a breather. Now they're back and set as we resume.
Defense getting a bit of a break.
They've been giving up big gains throughout this game. Finally, they bottle him up. Perhaps this is the spark they needed moving forward.
This could be what these Broncos need, is something really big to happen. Defense talking things over. You see Derek Wolf, Aqib Talib talking things over with their guys.
2nd and 7.
2nd and 7. Bridgewater with the hit. Handoff. First down. Denver with another timeout.
And now following that timeout, the defense back out onto the field.
Defense back onto the
The
field.
way they're moving the ball on offense now, somewhere, Coach Hank Stram is grinning. Just matriculating the ball down the field, boys.
The Vikings coach is really enjoying how they're moving this ball today around what is claimed to be a Super Bowl winning defense in the form of the Denver Broncos.
Offense
31-yard line.
1st and 10.
Minute 37. Bridgewater to Peterson. Denver with their final timeout on defense. They're going to really eat up, freeze the clock as much as they can. And maybe because I think the defense is going for something big.
So the defense had a chance to catch their breath, and now they're back out and ready.
A win for the defense, but he's been winning all game long. Finally, they get one for themselves, but overall, a good day for the ball carrier.
As the Broncos talk things over. Up to the line. 2nd and 9. Bridgewater to Peterson. Push back.
At this stage, when you look at the clock, you realize if you take care of the football and keep the football, there's no way you can lose the game. Don't let your opponent have the ball back.
Wow, nice almost wrestling tackle by the defense that time.
Offense needs 11. Have to think pass here on 3rd down.
They're going to have to pass unless these guys, the Denver, can get a defense. Nope, run. Gain of 1. Minnesota will have to punt this one in the air. 18 seconds.
And now they'll have to move it away.
Minnesota is just 10 seconds away from moving on. And the game is over. Nope, 1 second. Sanders slow getting up there. Sanchez will have to go big or go home if he wants to keep his hopes alive. Sanchez takes a snap, looks, rolls, game's final play. It's a lob to the end zone. Incomplete. Minnesota, the Heartbreakers, have moved on. The game is over. Final score, Minnesota Vikings 10, Denver Broncos 3.
Incredible game, a lot of fun to watch. Actually, probably fun for both teams to play. And even for the losing team, they'll feel good going into next week.
Adrian Peterson is the Gatorade key player of the game. 19 carries for 129 yards with 1 touchdown. There you see his big highlight right here. Miller couldn't catch him. Stewart couldn't even catch him. It was really up to DeMarcus Ware. And as soon as Peterson turned on the Jets at about the 40-yard line, it was over.
Charles Davis, my broadcast partner, and our entire crew. We'll catch you next time right here. It's the NFL on EA Sports.
The Denver Broncos are going to be moving on to the losers bracket, unfortunately. Did you see Mark Sanchez? A lot of potential. So much potential from him. Heartbreak in Minnesota for Denver. At least the advantage is this game, Denver gets to play it. The game Denver will play next, which will be the loser of the Green Bay and Pittsburgh game, will be at home. Just a reminder. So tomorrow, the Seattle Seahawks will be welcoming the Chicago Bears to Quest Field on Saturday afternoon. And then later that night, the frozen tundra calls the Pittsburgh Steelers. As I like to call, the opposites attract game. The Bears and Seahawks game will be at 3 o'clock on the East, 1 o'clock my time. And this game will be 7:30 p.m. Eastern and 5:30 my time. So make sure you stay tuned for that. So, heartbreak for Denver. Denver moves on to the losers bracket. Now, keep in mind, whoever loses here will be playing Denver on the road. So, there's some news there. See you next time.